Hey NAI football fans, this is Cory Thorpe with another edition of the NAI F-Ball podcast powered by AdCraft USA. These guys are our presenting sponsors for yet another year, and they're NAI-made players, fans, and family who are experts in the apparel and merchandise world. AdCraft allows you to take the hassle out of ordering. Let their knowledgeable design and customer service staff handle everything from hosting the store online, shipping, and helping your customers if they have questions, so you can get back to the game. Find them online at adcraftusa.com and adcraftwebstores.com. Just wanted to let you know that the following interview was done just a little bit after the national championship game, a couple days after, and so hopefully at this point Coach Woodley's had a chance to see the film, but I did want to get you at least a post-game interview from the national championship game. So we'll start with Coach's opening statement, and we'll run from there.
Yeah, tough ball game. Experienced our first loss of the year, but it was in the final game, and doesn't make it any easier. Tough pill to swallow. Tough locker room to go into at the end of the game, but at the end of the day, very proud of this team, and um, you know they've they accomplished a lot. They certainly overachieved, in my opinion. We won every which way possible this year, and it was just we ran into a really good team, and just thoroughly impressed with Morningside on both sides of the football as I was going into the game. A little disappointed in how we played defensively, but that falls largely on our shoulders as coaches, and need to put our guys in a little bit better position to make some plays, and that's usually what it boils down to. And that's a credit to them. They had a plan and they executed it, and of course they got great players. I mean, that quarterback is he's one of the better ones we've played against, if not the best. And of course, I love our quarterback Johnny, and wouldn't trade him for anyone. But this kid was really good, and of course the receiver. I think everybody's pretty much aware of how capable and talented he is, and he showed up on a big stage, and he really had a great day for them. And then the running back, in all honesty, man, I thought he was injured, and that kid, I got my hats off to that kid. He played his tail off, and obviously, I'm pretty sure he wasn't even 100%. He was still very effective, and and then on the defensive side of the ball, we just we couldn't get the run game going. I thought there were times early on we did a little bit, and then when we absolutely had to, probably the biggest play in the game, fourth and an inch, and don't get it. That was a play we needed to make there in the fourth quarter. That really swung the tide in their favor, and gave them all the momentum. And it's just it was tough. And of course, as a coach, you second guess yourself. And that's what you do after a loss as a coach, and wish you could have some moments back, but you don't get them back. And that's what's pretty frustrating about things. So with that, I guess fire away.
I think one of the best parts for me about the weekend was being able to attend y'all's pep rally on Friday night there. Just talk about the fan support there, and of your fans traveling all the way down from Iowa.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed, but not real surprised of the crowd that we had, both at that, and then when we showed up to the game on the bus, and then during the game they were loud, and there was a lot more people there than I anticipated, because I saw what it was going to cost for folks to get out there, and then you factor in hotel rooms and things like that. So there was a lot of people that invested time and money into us, and just real thankful for those people, and hopefully they know that. We had a little something after the game as well, which we were going to do win or lose, and just still kind of to celebrate this team. So just great support. I mean, I saw faculty and staff members from Grandview, and of course, most of our parents got out there. But all in all, for two Iowa teams going out to North Carolina to play a game, I thought it was a really good atmosphere, for the game. And luckily, we got a little bit of that rain for a while, but it wasn't as much as a factor as I thought it could possibly be. Which I'm glad I didn't. Nobody wants to play in that type of situation. So all in all, worked out pretty well. But yes, very very thankful for our fan base, and appreciative of them.
You talked about having issues with the run game. I noticed just throughout the game that of course, you always try to stick with the run game. You're always trying to establish the run game. But for y'all, you really tried to do it on early downs. What was kind of the idea behind trying to establish on early downs?
No, I mean, I guess I didn't look back. We haven't, self scouted, broke down anything yet. But, I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to gain some positive yards and set yourself up for, if you get to third down, third and short, and things like that. And that in order for us to be effective with our offense, that has to go hand in hand with what we do, kind of as our identity. And um, just they won the line of scrimmage up front, from their side of things. And when that's happening, yeah, it's just hard to get going. And but my gut is, I bet you look back, it's still probably 50-50 on first down. I think we do a pretty good job of trying to keep defenses off balance. So I guess I haven't analyzed that fully yet, but I thought we would be able to run the football much better than we did, but obviously we did not.
Talk a little bit more about your defense. You had said and given credit to Morningside's offense, but I was really impressed with your defense, as you have all season, really creating turnovers in the first half of that ball game, and really giving yourself extra chances at the plate to get some points up on the board.
Yeah, those were um, key things that happened in that game. And I know I had mentioned that at halftime during my interview. Thank goodness we did get them, because we weren't doing a very good job slowing them down, and that gave us a fighting chance there, and gave us some momentum. And we scored off of them, two of them, and I want to say we missed a field goal off the other one, but I could be wrong on that. But took advantage of them, for the most part, and if you get takeaways, that's what you got to do. You got to score off of them, and so those were some positive things in the first half. And then we get the block punt right away in the second half to start us out, and we started that second half out exactly how we needed to, and got a touchdown there. And but yeah, thank goodness for those turnovers. That made it a completely different game, and gave ourselves a chance.
I honestly wondered after that block punt. I'm going, all right. Grandview is gonna. I was wondering if y'all are gonna take control of that game from that. That's a huge momentum swing. The real one big uh, play I wanted to pick your brain on is about 9-ish minutes left in the game. You run the ball on 3rd and 1. You come up 1 micrometer short. It looked like from my viewpoint. What was there any inclination to try to go for that on fourth and inches there, or was it always punt all the way?
No, it was tied at that point in time, and um, we were playing a little bit better defensively. We had a few stops there in the third, and that's kind of I'm going to make a team beat us. If you're behind or something like that, I understand it, but and that's why, well, kind of left with no choice. and again, the one we did not get when we went for it, that was kind of a must. You know, you had to at that time. I think the one you're referring to is a little longer than a yard. The one we did go for was the really short one. Yeah, I mean, I still had faith that our defense was going to get us a stop, and you try and flip the field a little bit because if you don't get that, then well, you give them a short field with tie game, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And at least in my world, that's kind of how we've played because we've been so good on defense. You just put the faith and trust in them, and that's what we were going to try and do one more time. So you always have after a loss, and it's been a while since we have. So it's easy to kind of learn after wins, but you learn the hard way when you lose a game. You really go back and just probably overanalyze everything that went down, and but at the end of the day, at least I got to try and tell myself, man, we lost to a really good team, and they've obviously created something really special over there, and they're a good football team, and we gave them a hell of a run for a while. So still proud of that fact, and but that's the motivation to maybe get back to that game next year.
Well, Coach, I do thank you for coming on. I know that these interviews after a loss, especially one of that magnitude, are not fun, and you in no way had to do this. And I I gave you several outs, and you were like, "No, I'm doing this." So I very much appreciate that. We'll talk to you a little later on this offseason. We'll do a full recap and look forward to 2022.
Yeah, you bet, man. I'd have never. Um, there was no doubt I wanted to do this because of what you do for NAIA, and if it keeps you going, and um, I think, like I said, I just think what you do is great. So I want to make sure I did my part with you on that. And it was finally good to meet you down there. Um, finally I don't know, maybe I've seen your face before, but I really saw it obviously up close. So, but again, can't thank you enough for what you do and what you mean. And our guys talk about it. They follow you and all that. So, and of course, Dan is I know involved with you. So that's the least I can do.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the NAIF Ball Podcast powered by AdCraft USA. Be sure to contact them for all your custom apparel, merch, and uniform needs. Thanks also to Mommy Bay and Turf Nation for their support of the NAIF Ball Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to the podcast and to our YouTube channel. Leave us a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or any other podcast app that allows you to leave a rating and review. As always, if you'd like to support what we do, head over to patreon.com/NAIAFball and become a patron. We can't do what we do without support from our sponsors and listeners like you.